This is Full Circle Aesthetics, where practical and holistic health meet somewhere in the middle. We promote health and well-being by sharing various ways to uplift, energize, and live. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey of returning full circle.
Hey everybody, thank you again for tuning in to another episode of Full Circle Aesthetics, where holistic living and practicality meet somewhere in the middle. Today we're here with Adam Smith, home inspector here in Philadelphia. Tell us a little bit about the whole process of a home inspection and what does a home inspector do?
Basically, when you find a house that you really, really like, you put down a lovely offer, right? If the seller enjoys that offer, they're like, yeah, absolutely. Then your next step is to hire a home inspector. You'd hire somebody like me. So I'm gonna go through the home and I'm gonna find everything that isn't quite right. Sometimes that means things that are really, really wrong. Sometimes that means just things that are just slightly wrong. Everything we find, I'm gonna try and educate you on and try and explain the level of severity, as well as whether it's an immediate action item. Everything I'm gonna note will have a price association, which is gonna help you negotiate the final asking price of that home.
So you're kind of more of the advocate for the buyer?
That's exactly right.
Very nice, very nice. Adam's gonna take us inside and we're gonna talk a little bit more about things to look at when you are looking to find a new living space. So, Adam, would you say that there is a difference when it comes to inspecting a home in comparison to an apartment building?
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to home inspections, our services are generally focused on buyers of homes, okay? Usually, I don't do home inspection services for renters. Now that said, the process is similar, okay? As the renter, you'd want to move forward and just sit down and think, what are the basic elements that make me feel comfortable, okay? And what are those? You're thinking plumbing, electric, heating, cooling if possible,
definitely.
okay? Stuff like that, really straightforward. So what I would suggest is, assuming you have the ability to walk through the apartment prior to rental, which I would very much suggest.
Ideally, yeah, definitely.
You know, you'd go through, you'd check out all the plumbing. And what that means is you go into the kitchen, you make sure the cold water works, make sure the hot water works. Go into the bathroom, same thing for the shower and tub faucet. And most importantly, you definitely want to make sure the toilet flushes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a hurt piece if you don't flush.
The other thing with heating and cooling, again, if you have the flexibility, assuming you have a localized heating and cooling unit, some apartment buildings have a single thermostat for the whole building. If you have your ability to check it, I'd crank up the heat as high as possible. Make sure it's blowing out hot, or make sure the radiators get hot.
Okay.
And if you have central air, which is super cool, crank that up assuming it's not too cold out, okay? As far as electricity goes, if you have the time, patience, and if you are safe, okay, what I would suggest is going to any hardware store, and you should be able to find something like this, okay? This is a pretty cool, pretty straightforward outlet tester.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're really, really very inexpensive. I think this might have been $7 or $8, okay? And again, as safe as possible, go to every outlet, every receptacle, boop, boop.
So now the one thing that you and I had been kind of chatting about a little bit was my experience myself with apartments, whether it's house or apartment. Checking the cabinets for like infestation, whether it's mouse remains, roaches, ants, that kind of thing. What type of things will you see if there's an infestation in a place like that?
Sure. Now, I mean, you think about mice, you're thinking about food droppings and as well as fecal droppings.
Yeah, okay.
And we're talking about poo, right?
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So you want to be really careful about looking at that. Those are like the main elements that you would see in those sort of dark, closed, enclosed areas.
What about like something like with ants or roaches, would you say? I think with ants sometimes you'll see kind of like holes, but I'm not sure what you would see more so besides other dead roaches.
Yeah, as far as my expertise, this is a little bit outside of that.
Okay.
Now that said, I mean, the most important factor to anything when it comes to home buying, renting, or really kind of anything in your entire life is just sitting down, thinking about what's important, and doing the proper research. Okay? We have the web, right? Google is a phenomenal resource. We can answer those questions immediately.
Right, absolutely. And one thing that I do want to say, don't be too afraid to knock on your neighbor's door. Ask them about their experience. Ask them about the time, how long they've been there, how long, you know, their experience with the landlord. if they have any infestation issues and things like that. So that's always something, I mean, just like you would go looking for a house, you would go look at the neighborhood of your apartment complex or building, and I think that will also be helpful with making a proper educated choice when it comes to choosing an apartment. Hey everybody, thanks again for tuning in for today's episode of Full Circle Aesthetics. Adam, thank you for hanging out with us today, talking with us about home inspecting and home inspection.
My pleasure.
And if you're looking to reach out and find Adam, feel free to find his information below. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.